Swinging at top speed, swinging like Big Poppy. A dream told me your curveball could never stop me. I'm truly just sorry, I'm about to just murder this fucking beat. I made it myself though, I'm trying to get up in the damn post and figure it out with my big bros and figure it out how to get the money.
My name is Aiden Siegel, and this is the Let Me Hear It podcast. Today we're going to be discussing 3 albums, College Dropout by Kanye West, Rodeo by Travis Scott, and Escape from New York by Beast Coast. And with the Escape from New York album, we're also going to have a guest, Callahan Domine, my good friend, give us a little take on that as well. But to start, we're going to get started with the College Dropout. This is Kanye West's debut album. It came out in 2004. Personally, it's probably a top 3 album of his for me. The honesty in the lyrics, the fact that it was his first album and he just put out so many insanely, just incredible songs, such as like Jesus Walks and When It All Falls Down, just songs that are timeless and really just soulful. The sampling is one thing that he was always good at and still is, and that's where he kind of generated his niche and unique quality in producing. But his lyricism, and even Through the Wire, he literally made a rap with his jaw wired shut after getting in a major car accident. Like, nobody does that other than Kanye West. That's some stuff not everybody can do, and I think that album kind of embodies that, at least at the time what he had, that grit, that determination to prove everybody, hey, I'm not just a producer, I'm a rapper too, and I have a lot to say, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to do it my own way. And obviously he had Jay-Z and a lot of backing at that point, but he was still very, very young and not really known as like a rapper. Most of his stuff was known as a producer for Jay-Z, at least to my understanding to that point. And I think to come out on Jay-Z's pretty new record label at the time and just put out such an incredible album it takes a lot of gall. Like, you have a lot of pressure on you. It's a ton of time you're putting into something. If it flops, you look like an idiot. If it flops, a lot of people lose a lot of money, and then you look like an even bigger idiot. So it's really a lot of people in that situation, or have in that situation, not done well, and sometimes they don't get a second chance. That's their one album, and the label will drop them, and they got to go back to square one and figure out what they want to do with their life and their music. But Kanye West, as he's always shown, is capable of coming through and surprising people, no matter what he's going through or the world's going through. He's kind of always just like, hey, I'm Kanye, and this is what Kanye does. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I really just love that album. It's probably a top 10 favorite rap album for me of all time. The cover's so cool. The mascot with the bear head just sitting, looking super depressed on the bench. I think that's very, at least in terms of the title, it's very embodiment, especially like of 2004 like feel. That like title and graphic and the cover are very they match up real well for the time and the message trying to be put across. All right, so for our second album, as I said, we will be reviewing Rodeo by Travis Scott. I believe this was his first studio album. By like that, I mean like signed to label backing, big support. Because he had the one album, Days Before Rodeo, that is still on SoundCloud, that is very, very popular. But I'm pretty sure he put that out himself initially, and that's why it's on SoundCloud. Unless it's a personal thing with him that I would just totally not be informed about. So, yeah. But he really came to show what he was about with this album. All the songs are completely what were at the time very new sounding, very like electric rock, hip hop, like kind of feel, a lot of guitars amplified, ton of auto-tune and distortion in voices. He does a lot of good narration behind his songs, like kind of trying to tell the story of the rodeo. I also think he does a great job within songs like 90210, like delving back into his past and showing where he has like envisioned himself going this whole time. It's like very, I find it touching because it's he he starts the second half of 90210. He starts talking about his grandmother and how he's ready to kind of help his family and use this music to get him to new heights. And he sees a big vision for himself, and I don't know, stuff like that. And now it's happened for him. Now he's one of the biggest rap artists or any type of musicians in the world. I'd say a lot of people around the world know who Travis Scott is. And I think, personally, this album gave him that trajectory to go to that superstardom, because every song in this album, in my opinion, and this is obviously just an opinion, is excellent. I love every single one. I think this album is great. And obviously another person might not think that. And I think the one that preceded this, or not preceded, came after Rodeo, Birds in the Trap, Sing by McKnight, was also excellent. And honestly, I like every Travis Scott album, to be quite honest. But I think this one was so good because it was his first one, kind of much like the Kanye West situation. It was his first one. He came out, he showed his style, his vision, and his motives behind his music. It was very clear what he was here to do now within the music industry, and he's completely accomplished all of that. So I think that is another insanely impressive feat to accomplish. Not alone with all the like music accomplishments and the tours and headlining festival he's had now. I just think this album for him was the way to say, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm going to do. And then it's really given him the shot to go wherever he's wanted to go in music, fashion. I mean, he's into the Houston Rockets. I don't know if he's an owner, but he's got a lot of investments going on, a lot of sponsorships. So, yeah, that album is very, very good, and I think has a lot of importance, not just in hip-hop, but especially in Travis Scott's career. Okay, so the next album we're going to be reviewing is Escape to New York by Beast Coast, and I'm going to give my opinion and take on the album later. But without further ado, I introduce you to my friend and his review on the album, Callahan Domine.
What's going on? I'm going to be talking about an album called Escape from New York today. It's by Beast Coast. So they're comprised of a whole bunch of different New York artists. There's Flatbush Zombies, Pro Era, Nick Cannon, big names like Joey Badass, the Underachievers, just a bunch of people all from New York, Brooklyn area, came together, and this is their first actual album all together, which is awesome, and it's been long awaited for fans of the Underachievers, Flatbush, all those big guys that everybody loves. Off the bat, I mean, I absolutely loved the album. I don't think there was really a single song that I didn't like on it. Every single song was lyrically superior to pretty much almost any other album I've ever listened to. And they were able to make such a variety of songs in this album that I think, and this was even one of their points in an interview that I heard with Flatbush, is what they wanted to do is create a song for everybody on this album. So what that means is anybody can come in, play this album, and at least just find one song that they love. And that's what I think was awesome about the album. You can even see in the first song, it's a 4-minute song, and there are 7 verses where the first 30 seconds of the song is just beats. So that's a very short amount of time to have 7 verses while keeping your chorus and your hooks and all that kind of stuff intact in the song. So that is already just impressive, and it shows you how well these artists all work together and how their styles are similar, and you can even hear it when listening to their music individually. So when they collaborated on this, they really just did an awesome job.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things there that Callahan said I really agree with. One of the things that is really big that he mentioned that they aimed to do during the album was make a song for everybody. And when I listened to the album after knowing all the artists and being really invested in hip-hop like I am and really enjoying music, I was very surprised at the type of music that came out from that album, but was also insanely pleased, and I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was very well done. There's one song that's called Choir. I think it's the outro of the album, and Michi Darko, who has a very dark, raspy voice, who is from Flatbush Zombies, sings a very beautiful chorus about his destiny and just life and everything. And the whole song's really about finding your path. And I mean, I'm not going to get all into it right now, but I mean, songs like that you wouldn't normally hear those sounds or emotions or emphasis, I don't know, stuff like that, cadence from those type of artists. They did that, and they also stuck to their roots with rap and other stuff, but they also evolved with the rap that's going on in terms of trap and using more drums and stuff like that. And I think Eric the Architect, who did, I'm pretty sure, a majority of the production on the album, did an excellent job. Every beat, chorus, he writes a lot of the stuff for Flatbush Zombies. I thought it was all very well done and produced and composed. So hats off to Eric the Architect. He's amazing, even though I don't know him. But yeah, so that's the wrap up here of the first episode on Let Me Hear It. I hope everybody enjoyed, and we'll probably be coming out with more soon. So thank you very much.
Let me slide for a minute, let me die for a minute. Give me one night, change your whole life, girl. Give me time for a minute, let me vibe for a minute. Let me eat it like this minutes one night, girl. Think about the times where I was kinda simping. Ain't like that no more, no I ain't fucking tripping. Tryna step up a man, I'm a big fucking pimpin'. Like I'm Johnny fucking Rocket Band, Poppy with the pennant. Bitch, how you wanna do it all night, girl?